Shimano Bassterra rod. We're just starting with the budget one first. So this one is a good value one, I would say. Modern day materials. Okay, I mean it is cheap and cheerful. However, it would do the job extremely well. It'd cast out pretty far. It'd be nice and light. This one's 9 foot, cast 7 to 30 grams, which is ideal. It's in 2-section, medium action, not too stiff. Full carbon blank. I'm not sure what sort of, probably a very sort of basic blank, but you still be pretty good for the money. It's got some sea guide, stainless steel guides, VSS reel seat, comfortable Aruba EVA grips, lure keeper, supplied in a bag. So if you're just starting out and you just want to get in a rhythm for it, and and ping out a few lures, it will just cast all the lures any other rods will do. This will catch a fish. This will do the job, and you'd be surprised what good quality that would be for the money. That really would. So if you're in two minds, what to get, and you don't want to spend too much money, I think that'd be a bloody good. A lot better availability nowadays with something like this for the money than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. You would have got something really sort of cruddy for the money, but now the standards have increased so much. So if you're starting out, that'd be quite a good one, really. But like I say, you want to look after it. Not invincible, but that's all in all. I would say for the budget side of things, I would say that is the go-to rod. Okay, so next rod we're going to review is a Savage Gear SG S8, which is a bit more expensive. Yeah, so the Savage Gear SG S8 Specialist 9'2", casting 9 to 42 grams. 42 grams lure rod, I think particularly it gets on a little bit of the stiff side. I like a rod which has got a little bit more of a softer tip. However, you can fish heavier lures with it. I suppose it depends where you're fishing. I prefer a rod more in the sort of the 10 to 30 gram mould. However, I don't actually own this rod. I nearly bought it. However, they say it's a perfectly balanced bass lure rod. It's classed as medium to heavy. It's got a fast action. It's got long, precise casting, so it will, it's going to belt it out. It's saying it's extremely sensitive, beautifully balanced, and it's got the T1100G Touray carbon blank with 40T Touray lining and full cross wrapping. Just to make you aware that these rods are not invincible. If you're rock fishing, they can have all the extra wrappings and linings all you want. They will break, so make sure you don't fall over with it. It's in 2 sections. It's got Fuji, Torzite, K guides. Don't know what they are. Fuji have been around for years, and they're pretty much the best. Finished with Fuji custom reel seat, VSD 16. The reel seats they're doing nowadays are absolutely fantastic. So it's comfy, EVA foam handle, and it's got a carrier bait. And weight, this is an important bit. Weight, 145 grams. That's extremely light. 9'2". 9'2". I'd say that's about right. Some people, fish with slightly shorter rods. Probably cast the same sort of distance. Just depends what sort of rod you've got. But 9'2" is about right. But 145 gram, that's lovely. So expect that to zip your lures out pretty quick. 42 gram. I mean, what sort of, if you're fishing in the headwind, you might need a slightly stiffer rod. But your braid wants to sort of be suitable for that rod tip. So you might need to use up to £20 braid for something like that. I'm not so sure. I don't actually own a 42. But there you go. That's 270 quid. They've gone up a bit just recently, it would be a good rod, no shadow of a doubt. Right, this next rod is the Shimano Lunamis, a lot more expensive, well, a bit more expensive anyway. But if you're spending like 200 quid for a good rod, you might as well spend, it's only an extra 100 and something quid to get that much more. So anyway, this rod, so we've got 9 foot, rating 6 to 25 gram, this one in particular, but you can get one which will do to 30 gram, 42 grams, but this is a more of a lighter version. It states the PE on this one, 0.5 to 1.5, you want some good braid with this. 2 sections, spiral X-Core carbon blank. It's got high power, muscle carbon, fast action, quick recovery. So it's a fast action, quick recovery. That's like when you whip it, the rod tip will, it will ping forward and ping back quickly. So, with like minimal effort, it's gonna ping out your lures. I would recommend getting up to 30 gram. If you're going to spend that much money on one, 330 quid, you really want at least the 30 grams so you can sort of punch through a wind with like a slightly heavier lure, like a metal or something like that, like a Savage Gear Seeker. So it suits all the lures. Fuji titanium SICK guides, carbon mono handle, Shimano I4 reel seat. Listen to this. Weight 122 grams. Incredible. Anyway, so that would be my top end go-to rod. Yes, that would be lovely to use. I personally, the next rod we're going to talk about is the one I actually own. It's a Major Craft, and I think you got if you're really into your bass fishing, I think you got at least spend a couple hundred quid on one. But this would be a really nice rod to use, there's not really that much more I can say about it other than after you've used it, make sure you rinse it down with some nice fresh water to get all that horrible salt off it. But that would be truly a beautiful rod to use, that one. Right, let's talk about the Major Craft now. Major Craft Triple Cross TCX ML EU Custom 30 gram 962. I own this rod. It's a brilliant rod. I would say that, wouldn't I? I've had a load of fish on it. It's it's a good fishing rod. When you've got a fish on, it looks extremely good when you've got one on. It seems to respond really well. It's got a nice sort of stiff backbone, but a very soft tip, medium sort of soft tip. So when the bass lunges, the braid I use on this is 131 braid, and that is of the 0.8. 2.0 PE variety. That's extremely good braid. Don't get too many wind knots or any issues like that. So it's a Japanese style rod. I use all my lures with it, poppers, metals, divers, you name it. Long casting, it is long casting. It's not. I actually don't know the weight of this rod actually, but it's pretty light. It's got a Fiji VS reel seat. Fiji S6K guides, very responsive blank. It's not ridiculously expensive. It's expensive, but it's not ridiculously expensive. I paid about 220 quid for mine. It's gone up a little bit now. But if you're looking for a rod which all round is going to sort of tick the box of sort of a more higher end rod without busting the bank too much, this would be the one I would look at. They do a 9 foot. I find the extra height with the 962, it doesn't sort of have any implications at all. If you're doing a lot of rock fishing and stuff, you might want a shorter rod. But if you're fishing off beaches and stuff like that, I think the longer, it don't make too much difference. But it's all in all a very attractive rod. Very light to use. It's fun to use. That's the key word with the bass fishing. The gear you've got has got to sort of stimulate you. It mustn't be a sort of a nuisance set kit. I use a small reel with this. I use like a 2000 size reel, real top end braid, and the rod as well. It makes you want to go bass fishing. And even if you're blank, it's not the end of the world. And it does improve your fishing using good rods like this. Another one of the budget range here. This is the Abu Vendetta V3 spin. So this one is 10 to 30 gram, and this one's 8 feet, and it's of the medium sort of variety they're saying. So The 10 to 30 gram is about right for all your sort of your bass duties, which you do. 8 foot might suit a lot of people. I mean, I've done quite a lot of bass fishing off of like a 7.5 foot rod, and I found that was actually quite nice to use, and you can still whack out the lures. So I think that is especially if you're fishing off sort of rocks and they've got rocks behind you and things like that, where you don't want so much of a longer rod just to prevent you from casting, if you know what I'm saying, if your space is limited. So with regards to Abu and this one here, I mean, it's 85 quid. It's 30T carbon, which is, I think the better one is the 40T they talk about, but that'd still be pretty good. I've had 1 or 2 rods with the 30T and they're pretty damn good. With Abu, you're going to get something where the people have been doing a lot of testing on it, and they're not ripping you off. This rod's probably slightly better than the Bassterra rod, and I'd probably recommend this one over that one, the very first one we looked at. So it's lightweight, strong, very responsive sort of blank, so it's very whippy sort of tip, and yeah, so it's improved blank durability without adding extra weight. It's got a lightweight carbon rail seat, stainless steel zinc or something or other guides, high density EVA handle grips. So like I say, it's a good rod, wouldn't bust the bank if you just want something to go out and try and catch a food bass without sort of getting a top end rod. This rod would be more than adequate. And yeah, it would almost do as like a second rod. If you've got a good rod and you want another rod, which it wouldn't matter if you shit it up and you're fishing in more tricky locations, like fishing in rocky areas and stuff where you could damage stuff, then maybe a rod like this would do as your number 2 rod. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please subscribe and I will see you later.